When you look at the Grateful Dead's forays into experimental music, one thing you'll notice is that one of the drummers, Mickey Hart, was at the center of a lot of it. I already mentioned the Apocalypse Now rhythm sessions, where Mickey Hart was kind of the leader of that group and the motivating force in that group. Also, a couple years before that, he had done this band with Zakir Hussain, the tabla virtuoso who just passed away recently, called the Diga Rhythm Band, where he was incorporating, again, different rhythm traditions from around the world into a single music. Jerry Garcia played on it a little bit, but it was this amazing, shimmering, rhythmic, trancey music. It's funny, of all the members of the Grateful Dead, the drummer Mickey Hart was the one who I feel like had the most ambitious and exploratory career outside of the Grateful Dead. The other members of the Grateful Dead did their own solo albums, but they all tended to be in the style of music that the Grateful Dead did, or one of the styles of music that the Grateful Dead did. But Mickey Hart was a trailblazer in terms of not just the stuff he was doing with the Grateful Dead. He was one of the pioneers of bringing, what would become known as world music. In fact, I think one of his albums, Planet Drum, won the first Grammy for world music. And one of the things that Mickey Hart brought to the Grateful Dead was the sense of an intentional, not just an accidental or a sure it does that, but an intentional sense of music as a spiritual experience, as music as a communal spiritual experience. I don't think Mickey Hart would even mind using the word shamanic to describe the energy he was trying to bring to the Grateful Dead. And if I could stress anything, even beyond what I spoke about before this, about their recordings that reflect their experimental side, if I could talk about anything that made the Grateful Dead the amazing band that they were, it was the shamanic side of them, the spiritual side of them. And it's really a shame because I feel like it's hard to experience that without seeing it live. And that comes back to one of the themes I've been thinking about in this channel, this need for that live experience. I don't know if anyone can really get a sense of that just listening to the recordings of the Grateful Dead who wasn't actually there to experience it. And this is why Grateful Dead fans could rationalize away all the bad things about them. For those who are familiar with the Grateful Dead, they're often out of tune, their vocals could be horrible, their songwriting became less and less ambitious over the years. Jerry's health problems really affected his guitar playing as they reached the end of their career. But the two people that I would not say that about on any level were the two drummers, Mickey Hart and Bill Kreutzmann. That period where they took to the stage by themselves was, to the end of the Grateful Dead's career, one of the most exciting parts of their concerts. That never failed. That kept moving into new territory. But also, and this is key, and this is what I want to get back to, when the Grateful Dead were at their best, all of those faults fell away because they almost always reached at least one point in the concerts. If it was a bad concert, it might be just 5 minutes. If it was a great concert, it might be 30, 40, 60 minutes. But it would always reach this point of utter transcendence where it felt like they were opening a portal to another realm. Sometimes it could be gentle, sometimes it could be aggressive, sometimes it would feel like they were just tearing a a rip in the fabric of the universe and letting in something from another dimension. It's really hard to describe, but I think if you're watching this channel, you must have an appreciation for the ecstatic, for the mystic. And the Grateful Dead were able to bring that alive and bring that to people when they were at their best. And that's the thing that I wish people could appreciate about them. And I wish that that was more vital to our society. That's one of the things that I keep getting at, in that we really need live experiences. We really need communal experiences. This internet is not enough. It's a lot and it's great, but this is a part of the puzzle. It's not all of it. And what the Grateful Dead, what I just want to sing and appreciate, was the way they were able to just give you an experience of the transcendent in a way that isn't shallow, that isn't, I heard someone use the term once recently, communal effervescence, which was the idea that you get this kind of communal energy at music performances. The Grateful Dead weren't doing that. They weren't doing communal effervescence, which is important. It's energizing, it's invigorating. They were doing communal transcendence. And I'm not saying if they were playing in front of 20,000 people that every one of the 20,000 people were there at that place, but enough of us were that it was amazing. And that's something that we can't lose as a culture. It's something that you need that live experience to bring to life. And it's something that I'm so afraid that we might lose as a culture. Now, I'm not afraid that we're going to lose it. People who need that will find it. But we need it. We need not just communal effervescence, but a real and deep communal transcendence. Because it's an experience that we need to be fully human. I'm not saying that everybody needs it. I'm not one of those people who say what works for me works for everybody. But society needs it. Society needs that to be an aspect of what we do. And the people who need it will create it and find it. And for a period of about 30 years, from 1965 to 1995, the Grateful Dead were there.